This video is about my philtrum piercing. Woohoo! Hello everyone. Today's video is going to be about this thing right over here. So I've made a ton of videos about it already. And I think my last video was about how to hide it. So it's been about a month and a half-ish at the time of filming. I have hidden my philtrum piercing for work for a month and change. So maybe like 35 days total because it was a temporary gig. And so I came in with it, I interviewed with it hidden, but I went to all the meetings and the orientation and the first day with it in. After like the third day, they were like, so this isn't coming from us, and by they I mean like my managers. They're like, this isn't coming from us, but corporate rules state that you can't have any piercings on your face that are on your eyebrow, lip, and like septum or something like that. So obviously, like, they made the announcement like in a group of people, but obviously they were talking to me because I was the only person there with a lip piercing. So I was just like, all right, well, you know, I interviewed with it out, so let's take it out. And so I did use the same piece that I used in my video on how to hide it for the entire month. It worked out pretty well. Whether I get hired back or not next year is gonna be like a different story, but no one ever like complained about it afterwards. So yeah, it was pretty easy. Like I said in my previous video, it is an anatometal threadless system. So you just kind of like pull out the piece and stick the other one in without like screwing it in. However, these were some problems that I ran into, which I will share with you right now. So I literally had to change it before every shift and after every shift. The first couple of times I used it, I really tried to like keep it in. However, the piece that I was using, because I wanted it to be like really hidden and I didn't want to get a bigger disc, was the smallest size. I think it was like 1 millimeter or something, the same size as my nostril piercing. And what happened was that when I sleep, or I guess when everybody sleeps, like your body starts swelling. So because my bar itself is already so short, it fits super snug. It's 1/4 of an inch. Because the top of the hider piece that I'm just gonna start calling it hider piece. The hider piece was so small, my lip would swell in the middle of the night. And then when I woke up, my lip would hurt, and I'm just like, what is going on? And I realized that like my lip had swollen in my sleep so much that the piece was like halfway in my lip. Obviously it doesn't happen with this one because it's bigger, and so like there's nowhere for my lip to go back or forward. But because that hider piece was so small that it would just like go into the hole, and it was just a bad experience. If I ate something too hot or if I ate something too spicy in the day, my lip would also swell and the piece would go into my lip. It was so annoying, and I had to like constantly be like this or like this all the time to try to like push it out to make sure it wasn't sinking into my lip. Now, would I get a bigger piece? No, because the entire point is to hide it. And so with the smallest size, it actually was pretty effective at hiding it once like the redness in my philtrum went down from like changing it. I will post a couple of pictures that I've taken. There are filters on some of them, but like you get it. Like you don't see it really unless you're really looking for it. And besides, no one in their right mind is going to be like this close to your face on like a daily basis. So if somebody's like, you know, like 2 or 3 feet away, yeah, like 2 or 3 feet away, they're really not going to see it unless they're really like staring at it for some reason. But those were just the problems I had. Other than that, it was really great. I didn't really have any problems with it. The nail polish that I used was this one right over here. It's settled, so it looks kind of gross, but here is the bottle. Again, this is the color Perfect Pear by Revlon Color Stay Gel Envy. And I used it because it was the closest color that I had to my skin tone, and it's not really a perfect match. I didn't feel like buying another nail polish just for this purpose. Now, some people ask me whether the nail polish bothered my skin or anything. It didn't. I didn't coat the entire piece. I only painted it on the very, very top. So on the underside, it was fine. I will say that I did have a little bit of like crusting, or a little bit of like, I don't want to say oozing, but kind of like piercing cheese-ish discharge from time to time. And I don't attribute that to the nail polish. I actually attribute that to the piece going into my lip and irritating the piercing hole, and then my body just having the reaction of like, you know, like secreting things to make it feel a little bit better. And so I did have a little bit of like crusty stuff sometimes, but I would say out of the entire month it only happened maybe like 3 or 4 times. All in all, it was a fantastic experience, you know, fail-proof. Now I keep that piece in my wallet, in my change pocket, just in case I need it. I will have to repaint it at some point because I don't know what happened, but like the paint, the nail polish, kind of, I guess when the piece like sunk into my lip, then my skin started like pushing the nail polish. So the nail polish is kind of like wrinkly around the piece, and I can't even show it to you because the piece is so small that it doesn't even focus. But you can sort of see like the brown under the disc. But it's not the biggest deal because when I'm wearing it, it blends in, like it's not bad. But that is one thing to watch out for. I think it's just because of the type of polish that I use, because it's like a gel polish and not a regular nail polish, which is great because that means like I won't have nail polish like chipping into my fistula. The more I talk about this, like the worse of an idea it seems like, but I swear I did this for a month and it was great. Obviously it had its like ups and downs, its pros and cons, but I think the pros definitely way outweighed the cons. If I do get rehired for this position again next year, I'm going to be doing the exact same thing if I don't have this taken out by that time. Because I actually have had this for a year now, and I will make a separate video on it. But this is the longest that I've ever had a lip piercing. I've had my side lip pierced, and I've had like this middle piece pierced, and nothing has ever lasted as long because they've always given me issues. This one has been the piercing that has given me the least issues, so I'm really thankful for that. But that's for another video. This is the end of this video, so that is pretty much me hiding my philtrum piercing or my Medusa piercing for 1 entire month and my experience with it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.